Pizza is junk food normally, but not my version. We're gonna make a delicious vegan oil-free pizza crust, smother it with all these wonderful vegetables, and now pizza is health food again. Let's do it. Hey everybody, this is Dylan. If you're new to my channel, I make healthy things that actually taste good. And this pizza is one of them. It takes a little bit of extra work, but it's worth it. I don't make this pizza every day, but I will give you some tips that will allow you to save a little time next time you make this. So let's get going. First thing I want to do is make this delicious vegan oil-free pizza dough. It's super simple. Here we go. This is a cup of lukewarm water. It's just a little warmer. I put it in the microwave for like 15 seconds, okay? I'm not gonna bother telling you all the measurements. They're down below in the description. We've got some active yeast. It does not matter whether you use the instant, it's all the same thing as long as it's yeast that you would use to make some sort of bread. I have actually activated this just with the yeast and the water before. If you want to be absolutely certain, you could throw in a little bit of sugar, like a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon. I just threw in a little bit of my date powder, which is date sugar, ground up dried dates. Give this a little whisk with this very cute little whisk, and then set it aside for like 15 minutes. While the yeast is activating, you can get yourself a nice medium-sized mixing bowl like this and throw in 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. You could use some white flour and some whole wheat flour. You could try some gluten-free flour, but I can't guarantee the results like I can guarantee for this. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of ground up flax meal, and then we can just whisk that together so it's all ready to go. You don't have to add the flax meal. Again, I've done it without. It gives it a little bit of texture, so I kind of like it. Okay, I think we're ready. This is very foamy. What? Are you admiring my bronze play button? It turns out I'm the first channel on YouTube to get a bronze play button for 50,000 subscribers. Pretty cool, huh? I'm just kidding. Reebs made that. It is a counterfeit, but doesn't it look great? It still carries a lot of meaning for me, and that's all that matters. Anyway, we are alive. Look at that. It's foamy, it's bubbly, it's foamy, perfect. Ready to go yeast. It's been like 15 minutes, maybe even a little bit less. The only way that I buy applesauce, because I really don't eat very much of it, is in these little cups, because otherwise if I bought a jar, it would just go bad. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take a tablespoon or so of this applesauce. It adds a little bit of texture to the dough, but if you don't have it, whatever. And then with the extra applesauce, you just eat it. It's not great. Mix this up, and now take our whole wheat flour and let's combine. Just start stirring it up. You can use a spatula. I'm using a wooden spoon, whatever. Let's just get this all combined into a nice ball of dough. And then I'll start working it with my hands, and I'll add a little bit more flour. If it seems like it's a little too wet, you're gonna have to practice a little. Don't expect your first time to be completely perfect, so you might have to add a little bit of flour depending. This is a lot better now. It should be dry and not like sticking to your hands too much, so you should be able to handle it like this. We can start kind of working it into a ball that's still a little bit too wet. I'm gonna add a little more. Just sprinkle it on top and then throw it around the bowl with your hands. When we do this, I'll do like 12 of these at a time, at least half a dozen of them. After they've had a chance to rise and everything, I'll take them and I'll put them in a Ziploc bag and throw them in the freezer, and then you don't have to wait so long when you want to do pizza night. It's pretty handy. And I just take it, handle it like this. Every time it gets a little sticky, you can get a little bit of flour on there again, and then just turn this thing into a nice ball by folding the ends over the back. Now you've got this nice, cute little ball, and then throw that back in your bowl. And you can just throw a piece of saran wrap over this thing. If you want to keep it a little bit warm, you can throw a towel over this thing like that and set it aside for an hour, and we'll be back. Now it's time to chop till we drop. You know what I'm saying? You can get these shirts on the website. Reebs made a ton of new shirts. They're very funny. You can go as hog wild here as you want or not. I'm going to make quite a few items here because I just love lots of different kinds of toppings. My favorites are green bell pepper, mushrooms, red onion, any kind of onion, some Brussels sprouts is always fun, a little broccoli, oh, and mushrooms. These are not actually called mushrooms anymore. We now call these olives. Let's chop away. There is no such thing as pizza without a little bell pepper. And you can just dice this up however you want. If you want it in like little strips, you can do. I like to just dice it into little diced chunks like this. This is a very fun event to do when you're having people over. This is an awesome dinner party, a little get-together type of meal. Here's some zucchini. I'll do quarter moons. How about that? Cut it lengthwise again, and then just chop nice thin pieces. Boom, zucchini, done. Rebecca has requested long, thin slices for the red onion, so let's make that happen. See how good I am with this knife. So we'll cut this in half like that, And then we'll do these long, thin slices that have been requested. Onion complete. Let's do some mushrooms. I don't think I need this many, but I love mushrooms on a pizza. There's no pizza without mushrooms. Cut it in half like that. Turn it, then I'll cut it this way, and then we'll just chop away. Let's do a few Brussels sprouts. I don't always do Brussels sprouts, but I had them. I'll cut the stem off like this, and then I'll just take it and cut it in half. Get rid of some of these wild pieces. This is how I like my Brussels sprouts. You can do yours however you want. What's the word for what I'm doing to these little Brussels sprouts? Is it slivered? I don't know all those fancy words. I just chop. How about a little bit of broccoli? Broccoli, sometimes I'll do broccoli, sometimes I'll do cauliflower. Have some fun with it. Change it up from time to time, you know what I mean? I'll chop them like pretty thin. I'm just inventing this as we go here. What else could you throw on this pizza? The sky is the limit. I love to do the Trader Joe's artichoke hearts that come in the frozen bag. Thaw those out and you can chop them. Those are wonderful on pizza. This is gonna be a little bit salty. If you're doing totally SOS free, leave out the olives. Another thing that's really good that Trader Joe's has is the little bag of sun-dried tomatoes that are no added oil or any junk. Those are super good on pizza. We're gonna chop up some olives because I do love olives on my pizza. So let's give these a rinse and get as much of the salt off as we can, but they're still obviously going to be pretty salty. Oh yeah. Okay, are you ready for some pizza sauce? All I do is take 1 can of no salt added tomato sauce, crack it open, throw it in a little bowl we can use for mixing. I'm gonna throw in some minced garlic. You can use garlic powder. I've got some crushed red chili pepper, Italian seasoning. You could use basil, oregano, whatever you've got. You could even use fresh herbs if you wanted to, and a little bit of black pepper, and then just whisk this together. It looks pretty good. Boom, we got a pizza sauce all ready to go. We don't need to heat it up or cook it. The Breville will do the trick for us once it's on the pizza. Okay, I wanna show you a little fake Parmesan topping that I always like to make if I'm making pasta with marinara or pizza or whatever. And I take like a little bit of cashews, usually out of the freezer because they chop up better in this little magic bullet. Throw in some cashews and some nooch. Oh, get it in there. We might need to add more nooch as we go here. How's that looking? Oh, it smells good. All right, move all this stuff out of the way. Clean off your surface. It is pizza o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this thing. Oh, look at you. We got our surface here. Sprinkle on some flour. Get rid of that. Take our dough and we're just going to work it a little bit. We used to make one pizza out of this. It is quite a thick crusted pizza. But lately we've been splitting this in half and making 2 pizzas out of it, and it's a more thin crust pizza, which I like better. Let's just split this thing in half and we'll make 2. Grab a little rolling pin, whatever. This is a pretty simple process. You just want to make sure you've got enough flour down so that this thing isn't sticking to the counter, okay? So give it a nice coating of flour for this. And try to make a relatively rounded out pizza, one that sort of looks pizza-ish. This one does not. It's a pizza pie. Don't do the throw it in the air thing. I made that up. It doesn't work. They don't even do that, trust me. We're gonna do this in the Breville, so I've got my little Breville pizza pan, and I like to use a piece of parchment paper that I have cut into a circle because, I don't know, I was waiting around for the dough. I had nothing better to do. Drop this thing down on top. I've got some extra, cut off the extra piece, and we're good. Let's make a pizza, shall we? Throw on some sauce, get a few nice big spoonfuls of it on there, and just start spreading it around however you like it. Oh yeah, that's looking good. All right, let's dress it up. Throw on some onions. Get those mushrooms on there. How about some zucchini? Bell peppers? Oh yeah. Get all them bell peppers on there. A little Brussels sprout, how about it? This thing is piling up. Let's get the broccoli going. Oh yeah, looking good. Let's sprinkle on some of those olives. Okay, clean up. I put the Breville on the maximum temperature, which is like 480 on the little Breville Smart Oven. But in my big oven, I'll go to like 550, I think is the max on that one. Woo! Look at that, it is steamy. Oh. It smells so good. That ended up being like between 10 and 15 minutes. I think it was like 13. Now let's throw in a little bit more crushed red pepper, because why not? And then how about some of our fake Parmesan nooch cashew mix? All right, let's have a taste while it's hot. That's real good. You know what else would be really good on this? A little Well Your World sriracha. Just heat it up. How about a little barbecue? Should we put on a little bit of the Well Your World barbecue sauce? Let's have a taste with some BBQ. Oh, that's good. How about that sweet mustard? Oh, that's real good. I want another bite. What about the sweet heat? Oh yeah. Now that is how you do pizza. It's fast, easy, great for you, great for the family pizza night. So try it out and tell me what you think. If you like this recipe, check out some more healthy, vegan, oil-free recipes right here, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.